Okay, now I'm running my mouth. All right. Praise church and prayer and love and blessings of the holiday. Let me big old feet up here. What I want to talk to you about is something that I experienced, and I have this like relationship with God, and I talk to Him and He talks back. So I've been His soldier. I've been His soldier even when I was out, strung out on the streets doing meth. I was still His soldier. And I had a way of proceeding in my life that no matter what, I would always get ahead. And this is a hard thing to say when you're doing meth and you're around a bunch of people who are dopers and dealers and other words, shall we say? Okay, so here I am, and this is about 2009. And if you remember, there was a huge snow in the beginning of 2009 that covered the country. So the essence of this story is called Let It Snow. So, here, Christmas tree, I need to pace back and forth. Oh my God. I know.
Don't worry about it. I'll get it in a minute.
So the essence of this story comes from these angels. Now, as each angel was given to me, the first angel had a Bible open. And it was a time in my life where I started reading the Bible and started really listening to God's Word. And it was at the very first beginning. I was on the milk, shall we say, as they say in Christianity. And then the next angel that came to me was one with a harp. And that's when I began singing my joys out. And the next one that came to me held a basket of laurels, meaning that I was starting to receive the laurels of God and starting to not just have this milk, but starting to experience a higher level of love, a higher level of experiencing God's talking with me. And so as each progression went on, it was a reflection of what was in my life. So I get moving along, and I'm going to Grace Memorial, and that's where I first told this story. And I'm still in the midst of addiction. I'm going to college. I'm trying to make things work out. I'm really fighting hard. But I found I was losing ground in the community, in that I loved so much. I prayed all the time. I mean, all these different ways that you can talk to God. I did good acts. I was charitable. I had great faith. But these things were not enough. There was something missing. And so I'm like, tears are coming. I'm lying on my floor in my house, right? And just not in a good state at all. And I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like, why God, right? Well, anyways, I'm going through the dumpster diggers at like Saturday morning, early, and I find this angel. And she's like this, right? And meanwhile, I put her with the other angels. There's the other. Now I have 4 angels. And she's right above this thunder egg. Well, in this thunder egg had a little hole in it, my nickname being Thor. So I take this little sign that I found, right? And this is like my little medicine area, my little, like, you know, my Jesus and some, like, strong things that I have. And I take this little sign, it says, "Let it snow." And put it into that thunder egg, right? So this is like Saturday night, all this comes about. And I go to church. And I'm like, I'm distraught because I'm not making headway. No matter who I talk to, no matter how I try to help somebody, they're not being helped. My movement forward is something's blocking it. And so I'm down at church, and I'm asking her, I'm crying in church. I'm crying, right? Because you can get moved down at Grace Memorial. They'll move you, right? So I'm crying in church, and I'm talking to the pastor. Pastor Simeon, and I'm talking to Bishop Bolden, and I'm like, what am I going through? What's wrong? What's wrong? Well, Bishop Simeon said, I had an error. Well, I had plenty of them, right? And Bishop Bolden, the leader of the church, just kind of lowered his head and just said, I don't know. I don't know. So I'm going home, and I have a prayer warrior brother, and he's not the smartest fellow in the world. He's a old Vietnam vet, but he's in the book pretty hard, and he sums it all up. He goes, well, he was on the milk, but now he's on the meat. So that means I've like progressed through this level of like communication with God to where I have direct influence coming from Him, and that I need to step up my game. Okay, so I need to step up my game. All right. So how does one step up my game? Well, I thought prayer and, kind acts and love. I mean, immense amount of love. So not just like a normal human love, like boom, big love, right? As much as I can give. And so I go home that night and actually went to sleep. Good for me. And I woke up the next morning, and the whole place is covered with snow. And everybody's outside having a good time. And I'm like, wow, where'd this come from? Because it was a freak snowstorm. Nobody knew it was coming, right? And I'm like looking at all the people having all this fun, and then I walk by my little area there, and right in front of the angel, who's going like this, she's praising. She's praising Jesus. That's what she's doing in front of that thunder egg, in front of where it said let it snow. And so that was God's message to me, right? That I have the power to take you where you need to be. But you got to praise me. You praise me, and I will show you that I can change the world in one day for you. And then later on TV, I see this snowstorm. It's not just covered this area, but it's covered the whole country. A freak snowstorm. And so, I began my praise. I began my praise of His Word, and the praise of His actions, and the praise of His works. And so, you notice I'll never have really a book. It's just I have this relationship with Him, and He's learned to tell me in certain ways how to spread His joy. And by His acts, by His love that come through me, and by the praise that I give back to Him. So let it snow, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, God.
Anyone else this morning?